Hello everyone, Country Pro here, back on another video. And today, I finally figured out how to do 60 FPS on my webcam. It was just right light I needed to fix. But yeah, this one's for Logan, and you guys thought I was done with Amorous? Not a chance. We got 3 more dates to check out, and the first one is Lex. So let's get to it. Alright, now, I remember she was in the back, right? I kind of forgot how to leave. Wait. Oh wait, hold on. I feel like you can... Yeah, in the back. Wait. Oh yeah, here's Lex. Logan. The back of the club smelled of sour beer and cigarette butts. In some ways, that beat the suffocating smell of dancing bodies and 100 antiperspirants. The parking lot out back had a handful of others catching the breeze off of the waterfront. Some were hanging out with their cars, taking a smoke and tailgating. Others exchanged flurry goodbyes, trying to catch a few more minutes with each other in the privacy of their cars. Alright, let me actually make a new save. Yeah, I think I'm gonna overwrite my first save. I couldn't help but feel that some of the patrons loitering out here were a little rougher than the glitter and short shorts of the club goers inside. On the edge of lively conversations, a candid with a nose ring was leaning on the wall next to the building over. I see you, Logan. His, or maybe her, jeans were fashionably torn, but fit well, showing off a somewhat feminine curve at the thighs. Topside, the brown furred Huskies t-shirt and racer jacket. Ah, crap. All in all, they looked relatively androgynous, and the general impression that I got was that whoever they were, they seemed frustrated as they checked their phone repeatedly. Gender aside, the Huskies certainly seemed in a sour mood. Go say hi, keep them company, ask if there's any way I can help. Probably shouldn't bother them, maybe later. Not my type, I'd better get back to the party. I think I'm going to go ask if there's any way I can help. Excuse me. I spoke up as I headed over towards where the Husky was standing. They looked me up and down in an almost dismissive way, putting the phone back into their pocket with a roll of their eyes. You seem like you're waiting for someone. Anything I can do to help? My brother is a regular here and knows the staff. Nah, that's okay. Waiting on a friend, that's all. Daddy's outside, unless he's out of his damn mind. Out of his mind? Yeah, you know, drunk, fucked up. No offense, but I don't exactly have any friends who make it a habit of hanging out the city's #1 hookup spot. The Husky laughed derisively and crossed their arms. They had somewhat of an accent, not too thick, but with a tint of something old country, New England maybe. Yeah, no, it would catch me dead in there. See any episode of Problem with the Club? That's rich coming from the person looking in this alley. Fair enough, well I guess it's nice to meet you. Next time my first choice, Mamas. I was the same, you never know until you try it. I'll go for blue. It takes cat. It takes all sorts, I guess. If your friends aren't in the club scene, I guess no one is blaming them. Though, I have to ask, if you hate the club, what are you doing out in the parking lot? Safest place downtown, dude. Club bouncers always prowling around, and even if they're fucking in the backs of their cars, there's at least someone around. I got my car jacked last year. Saber to park it here, and the parking's free too. I was waiting on a friend. We're gonna go for a night ride. Guess they're playing with the shit because he hasn't replied in ages. That sucks. Smart idea though, parking somewhat with visibility. Thanks, dude. Saw it on a crime show once. Do you always call everyone dude? I prefer to be called something girlier. I don't exactly think about myself in that kind of way. A dude is just a dude. Big dudes, little dudes, good dudes. It's not a gender thing. I call everyone dude, especially when I don't know their names. You're still doing the thing back of my chair. Nah, get over here. Get over here. You're going to be on video. You're going to be on video. This little butt nugget has been scratching the back of my chair. This is the second time you've been on camera. How does it feel? Alright, well, looks like their interview is up. I'm probably gonna edit this, most definitely. Fair enough. Well, I'm Sky, if that helps. The Husky didn't really seem the type to shake hands or anything. but they nodded and smiled all the same. You're a bit of a stick in the mud, ain't you? Haha, fine. I'm my duty. I'm Lex, by the way. Mind asking me what pronouns you prefer? Lex, I'll do this. Transgender laugh. Next, I don't want to be rude or mispronounce you. Is there a pronoun you prefer? Not really, either. Any? Honestly, I don't really care about this stuff. Doesn't bother you, does it? Well, I don't know what gender you are. I mean, most people know your gender. I'll go for green. Husky shrugged and sighed. A touchy subject, maybe? I know that might be a strange position to hear in Amorous, but out here in the real world, what's between my legs doesn't really stop people chatting. It's not like I need tits or a cock to shake hands or anything. I guess you're right. Sorry, Lex. Just didn't want to offend you. You can't offend me, dude. I mean, Sky. Lex thought he did offer their hand and shake. The Huskies seemed a lot less frustrated now. They leaned back against the wall again, pulling out a pack of cigarettes and offering it mine with a fresh one between their lips. There should definitely be a period here. You smoke? I'll give it a try. That was bad for you. I'm a rebellious little 20-year-old. We're gonna get high. Lex threw me a suspicious glance from holding up their own zip. What is a Zippo? Wait, I have a computer. What am I doing? I'm just gonna put my keyboard up here. Okay, I made a severe judgment error when I realized that me putting my PS4 right here does not work. Alright, let me move my mouse pad. There we go. Move this. Huh? I just heard a "suh," even though I didn't do anything. That wasn't me. That was weird. Alright, whatever. I'm just gonna look up the thing now. Zippo. Okay. Okay, now I know what it is. It's basically just a reusable metal lighter. Might work in there, but cool off with the flirty shit, huh? Lex offered me the pack and the Zippo, and I took out a fresh one and lit up. We enjoy. Cat, stop it. Stop it. Cat, please. Cat. Cat, no. Bad cat. Crazy bad cat. Stop it. Get down. Get, go. I'm recording a video. Oh, Jesus. Alright, well, Senor Kitty Cat is out of the way. Jeez. Please let that my quality be good. So, going for all that? What do you mean? I don't know. The whole hanging around a club thing, trying to get people's attention. You said you're new around here, but you're here either way. This seems kind of dumb to me. Hunting down people and dazzling them with some flashy outfit and cheap tricks to get into their pants. Number of hookups I've seen tonight is just gross. How do you meet people you're interested in? Doesn't how I'm dressed to go clubbing really bother you? Maybe because I want to. I'm just trying to be proactive. I'm looking for what does it mean to people. I'm gonna go for purple. Like the fourth one down. Ah. By the way, both of my Amorous videos are almost at 400, so if we can get this to 800 views, that'll be great. My brother always spoke pretty highly of this place, and some of the people I've met seem pretty nice. I'm not looking to hook up for something meaningless, but I'm not going to make new friends just sitting around either. Yeah, I guess so. Guess I have a pretty tip idea of what goes on in there. Wasn't gonna call you an asshole or a pervert or whatever. I just don't really get the whole meet and greet thing. I guess I can understand that. That kind of thing is pretty soulless, but it's not a personal connection. I kind of like you. Tight circle of friends and all. I'm looking to try and make more friends though. I guess that's what I'm going on to meet new people is about for me. You got a point. I've always been happy with the friends I got, I suppose. But I wouldn't really know where to go and find more. Guess people here seem a little shallow and not interested in looking to fool around. Alright. Ask what Lex does for fun, ask what Lex does in general, ask about Lex's gender, ask about Lex sticks like. What does she do for fun? So Lex, you said this is a familiar scene. What kind of stuff do you usually do? Lex sighed and chuckled. Even their voice was somewhere on the spectrum between Well, let's see. Usually I'd go to one of the bars off the strip a bit. You know Waiters? I shook my head. It's this retro bar in Snooker Hall. A lot of all kids go there during the weekend, but during the week they play lots of classic rock and stuff. It's pretty cool. More my taste than the house and dance stuff they play here. So Lex, you seem like a pretty cool person. Mind asking me more about you? Seems like you're not local to here. I guess. It ain't very interesting. I shrugged and continued regardless of whether I didn't back down. I grew up in the Northeast, little town, more logging companies than clubs. My dad moved down here a few years ago. Stayed with him a bit, then got an apartment. You don't miss it up there? No friends back home or anything? Didn't have any problem making friends when I got here, so no. Wasn't that close to many people there back then anyway. Only just finished high school and moved. Couldn't stand most of them, you know. Haha, guess everyone's the same when they're into alt music though. Hey, what about you? You sound more like a local. Yeah, I moved away a little for college. My family's lived for ages. My mom remarried. Not so bad. I live with them and my stepbro while looking for more work. Cool. Well, it's a pretty neat place to grow up. Back then, they were pretty freaked out when I got my nose done. And one of my friends was like, aren't you going to gauge that? You know, it's fucking pinhead back home. I saw you checking your phone before we started talking. Are you much for phone games? Yes and no. It's fine for being bored and stuff, but I don't really stick with anything for long. Like those Eggo pets and stuff. I kind of get bored of that stuff pretty quick. I used to when I was younger, on the bus to high school and stuff. Since I can pretty much drive anywhere I want to go now. I only have time. I'm one of those people who sneaks in a slow game on Facebook or something. Dude, the parodies are so good. I guess I'm kind of multitasking. I never get anything done if I was trying to concentrate on those time management games. What about you anyway? Following those new ARG things you can play with your phone? I never really go anywhere with my pocket console. That's cool. I guess it means you got a good choice at least. Ugh, I always hate when you're trying to talk to someone and they pull out a game. I'm always like, okay, guess we're done talking. Dude, same. Same. Don't worry, I only phone responsibly. Ha, you better. Anyway, what were you gonna say, dude? Sorry, tangent. Let's go for pink. Hey, Lex, not that I'm not enjoying being chill in the alley, but did you want to go somewhere? You know what? Sure, why not? How about your place or my place you prefer? Let's come inside. I think I'm gonna save here. Yep. Sit across the line. Right, let's get started. Anyone from the line? What are you trying to suggest, guy? Okay. Movie is some gaming fights, I think. All the booze machine we don't laugh at. You know how much of an ulterior motive it sounds like asking me to go by myself for Netflix and chill. Okay, sorry. Dude, I guess this place kind of makes me less paranoid. Sorry, Sky. Huh, now that I'm both being fools of myself. I'm gonna take a rain check here. It's getting late, Sky. Probably thinking of heading home. Pretty cool, Sky. Let's keep me company. Why don't you give me a call sometime? Here, let me text my number over. Glad we got the chat, Lex. Thanks for that. I'll give you a call later. Maybe we can hang out. That's corny, dude. No need to make a big deal. But one thing. Next time we hang out, I pick the hangout spot. Deal. See you, Lex. I think her and Sky are probably my favorite characters here. If I had to pick a third, it would be Seth, particularly because I like writing and I like narration. Seriously, I really wish this was an option. Like, dude, they made so many cool characters just in the background. This is my favorite. I love the tale. Mercy. I'll do her later. I've already done her path. Alright, let's chill. Hey sis, lots of nice guys around tonight. What's up? Go home. Shall we head back home? Already? Okay, I guess it's getting late. Let's go. I know, I've done this before. Let's... Wait, you can go back using right click? I never knew that. Alright, and let's call Lex. I had a pretty good time chatting with Lex outside the club. Maybe I should give them a call. Ring, ring. I'm not accentuating the sound effects. Hey, it's you, Sky, right? Hey, Lex. Yeah, that's right. I figured I'd give you a call, see what you were up to. Nothing much right now, just in the middle of work. Oh, I'm not interrupting, I hope. Nah. So as long as I get the project done in time, they won't really care. Don't exactly need to keep office hours when I work from home. COVID! Anyway, what's up? This sounds like me, but this also sounds like me more. I'm gonna go blue. Want to make sure you got back alright after the other day. Glad you're doing okay. Well, thanks for checking in. Glad you got back safe too. And give me a call later if you're free, right? Be cool to hang out sometime. Sure thing. See you later, Lex. Oh, wow. You can actually delete people's numbers. I'll wait until a better time. Modern wardrobe, cooperate, some seasonal t-shirt and comfy pants. Well, it's Logan and Chizimo. Yeet! Why did I click that again? Shift. Call. Lex. Call. Boom. We've done this before. Alrighty. Before you hang out. Not right now, but I'll see you later, Steven. Before working drinks. Take a rain check and that sounds fun, sure. Talking actual drinking too, so bring your game face. Ha, looking to get me wasted, huh? Gonna try. Look like got enough for a lightweight that can take you. You're on, Lex. Right. Well, I'll see you later, okay? I'll text the address over in a sec. See you there, Lex. Take a cab, dude. I'll cover it if you want. See you later. I guess they said the bar was over part of town. If Lex parks at Amorous. I'm sure I'll be fine. I got some time to before I go. Because I got time to email off a few applications and get something a little more nighttime appropriate to wear. Something a little more punk appropriate. Yep. Time passed quickly as I whiled away the afternoon on a few unlikely job applications and catching up on a few YouTube shows. I showered up and was ready for the cab by the time night set in. I'd have to pace myself tonight. I'd have to pace myself tonight if Lex had anything to say about it. The bar wasn't too far from Amorous. It was further away from the beachfront and a few blocks from the commercial side of the city. The building wasn't too much to look at from the street. The sign was simply painted and lit by a spotlight either side. Waiters, or winkling waiters as the sign read, was a small squat building painted in a blood and black motif on the outside with black curtains that could be pulled over the frosty glass windows. Lex had mentioned that the place carried the bikers and the carport reflected out with a row of bike spaces along a rail by the bar like an old-fashioned hitching post in a cowboy movie. Cool place. Lex was waiting outside, sitting on the middle rail, kicking their boots back and forth and smoking a cig. They waved me over with a cocky salute, swinging their legs back over the railing, up onto the ramp to the doors as I made my way up the steps to divide the bike spaces. Hey Lex, didn't keep you waiting long, did I? Nah, I was just chilling here. Anyway, let's get going. You bet. The smell of the pub. The area of the pub was spacious. A huge lacquered bar was set up opposite the doors in. Muted sound of pool balls clattered under the music, coming from either side of the bar with doors led to a large room in the back where they must play. You could glimpse the players sometimes when a bartender moved through their own door to the rear bar, a mirror to this one on the other side of the wall. Small tables are set up front side of the building, a handful populated already by a few guys our own ages, and some older vets in leathers and bandanas. I had the feeling the rougher side of the bar was at the back, because it was indeed more Lex's speed, a rockier beat and more alt clientele. Well, perhaps Amorous had the more alt lifestyle club goers. Good to see you, dude. Figured you'd find the place okay. Heh, so what you drinking anyhow? Nothing in beer myself. We took a seat at the bar in well-worn but well-maintained stools, and Lex has to hand over the selection of liquor bottles and beer taps. What do you recommend? Something light, some heavy, some soda. I'm gonna go for the memes. Rum, whiskey, vodka, gin. I'm gonna go for a whiskey. Ha, you're confident, huh? Well, cool. I can keep up. Cool. Let me get the first round. Lex sorted up, but me promising to get the next round. The place was a lot quieter than Amorous was, and it was a lot easier to hold a conversation. I was hoping not to get too drunk and get idiot myself when. So Sky, ever played Easy Way, Hard Way? Nah, I don't think I've heard of that. It's a drinking game, kind of like Never Have I Ever. We take turns asking questions. There's an easy question, then the person who answers has to drink. It's a hard question, then the person who asks has to drink too. That doesn't sound like much of a game. Lex shrugged and flashed me a playful grin as they kicked my soul with a boot gently. Well, truth or dare without the dare part is just lame. Anyway, it gives us topics while we chill out. So if I ask an awkward question, we both have to drink, otherwise only you have to. Pretty much. You're supposed to kind of mix it up, but it always ends up with some weird questions. Or we ask the same question again, you have to drink, even if the person brought it up the first time. I guess if we get too drunk, we won't give great answers. Maybe I get a funnier answer for something if I waited. Alright, I'm ready. Alright, okay, easy question. Easy random question to start with. Boxers, briefs, or something else? I don't know what to choose, but I don't know the funnier option either. What is a jocks? I have a PC. Why do I keep grabbing my phone? Dude, 60 FPS webcam is so clean. It's up here. Why? Okay, I need to relearn my muscle memory. I'm just gonna not. Skipping this. We're gonna go commando. Ha, really? I should have figured. Right on. Then you drink, or we both drink. Then you ask your question. Easy. I'm gonna ask easy. Favorite movie of all time? I'm gonna go for band. Oh, that's pretty easy. You know how some people, when they get tattoos or haircuts like a band has? The only band I've ever wanted to get something like that for is this alt band called Water Parks. They're kind of like a metal. Did I seriously skip that? Wait, you want a Water Parks tattoo? What do you mean the afro? The tattoo you do? Can you imagine? But yeah, they rock. You should totally check out their earlier stuff first. It's all based on this universe the lead singer put into a comic book. The later stuff is alright, but it's not got the same weirdness. Sounds kind of like what I expect from an alt band. They sound pretty cool though. Lex downed their drink easily and gave me a grin into their pearly teeth. I guess I can handle their booze easily enough. Ha, okay, this is a tougher one. You said you had a brother, right? What's your most awkward sibling story? Let's see. Ask a hard. What's your sexy story? No. What's your sexiest story? Well, okay. If you're drinking two on this one. Fair enough. Right. Well, let's preface this with that it happened at college, and no, I'm totally not gonna tell you their names or get into any weird details. You're in diluted friend-safe version. Well, anyway, so there was this guy in my illustration class, and we got to be pretty good friends. We weren't ever official or anything like that, but we hooked up a lot in our second year. Like I said before, it usually takes me a long time to want to do stuff with people, but yeah, so we lived local and I used to hang out with them a lot at his house. So, this sounds fucking stupid. It makes none of us look good either. So, I was taking a shower and we used to do shit in there sometimes, so I left the door unlocked. But he had a sister, a half-sister I think, who was like maybe a year or two older. You didn't. Yep. I've done this exact path before off camera. And this still gets a laugh out of me. Really? Lex was bright red and squirmed in their seat in a way that was simultaneously cute and very out of character for their tough beer drinking persona. Fursona? Yeah, though, to be honest, it was the thing that sort of come up before when I was hanging out there. I knew she was into me and stuff. Like I said, we don't exactly seem like not like assholes, but me and the guy were open sexually and neither of us wanted to date. I actually ended up getting closer, like, emotionally to the sister, and we almost dated for a while too. We weren't like weird about it. which maybe says more about them than about me. But yeah, I guess that shower stuff counts. Guess that answers if you're bi or whatever, too. Oh yeah, that stuff doesn't bother me too much. I know a lot of people see what they want to see in me, or whatever. I'm the same, I guess. It doesn't matter too much to me. If the three ever, I'm sure there's statutes on that in some states that would stop me from being able to clarify certain details. Lex, they were half siblings and a very athletic family. Anyway, drink and forget. Another one down the hatch. Cheers, dude. Lex snickered into the glass as they took another long drink. They were looking a little rosy-cheeked, but stuck out their tongue as they ordered another glass for us both. Okay, you asked a weird sex question now, but you're about your most public sex story. Fair's fair. Let's see. Let's go another hard one. What's your most saddest moment? Wow, downer much? You're definitely drinking along with that story. Sorry, Lex. Shitty question. Nah, just philosophical, I guess. My grandpa passed away when I was pretty young. That sucks, Lex. I'm sorry. Was it sudden? A little. That kind of actually the suckiest thing about it. I don't really know. I was like 12 when it happened. Still a kid, really. Remember going into the hospital, seeing him a couple times. But it was all just sort of, I don't know, formality. Years later, I was doing a history report for school, and my dad brought out this huge box of old stuff from my gramps was so younger. It was a cop, back in the city I grew up in. All this medal for all this cool shit he did. I guess that was the saddest part. When he was still around, I was just some stupid kid who was more worried about the hospital smelling funny. This awesome old dude who had all these adventures and stuff. I remember it like stupid, like sitting on his lap when I was young. I remember thinking about what kind of person he was. That is pretty sad. I'm sorry to hear it, Lex. Hey, here's to your grandpa then. Gone but not forgotten. Yeah, to Grandpa Joe. Cheers, Sky. That glass was definitely a tipping point. I could feel the tingly warmth flushing my cheeks a little as we shared our stories. I was well and truly buzzed now. Good thing I got a cab. Let's take another big drink, slamming the glass down triumphantly. They snickered, tail wagging mischievously. Told you this was a fun game. Okay, downer conversation aside, I got a more fun question. I've always wanted to travel more. What's your best vacation story? Let's see. And then it fades to black. Ask an easy question. Ask a hard question. I'm gonna ask easy. I think I'll finish the game. I think I'm done with the game, Lex. Yeah, okay, game over it is. Ha, you got me pretty good there, Sky. I figured you'd be a lightweight. Lex laughed, seeming more jolly and multiple beers down, looking their heart out of their eyes. They gave me a curious look above a warm smile that I couldn't help but find a little sweet in its own way. Well, it was a good couple hours of swapping maybe we should call it a night. I'm gonna save here. Huh, not for nothing though, make me blush, I hope. I'll be better next week. I'm more drinks, chat, and hang out. Well, okay. Booze sounds good. We can hope some sweet music or something. Chilling out actually sounds like a pretty good plan. Oh, here. Let me split the taxi fare with you. The cab ride back home didn't take too long. The fresh air had a sobering effect as we rode with the windows cracked, feeling the cool night air coming off the waterfront on our own way up to our parents' house. Lex teased a little about living in the fancier part of town, but our house wasn't exactly in a gated community or anything. They didn't seem to mind the parent part and said they were pretty good around people's parents, but thankfully they were away for the week. Not that my parents usually bat an eye to the bedroom gymnastics that Kobe got up to. Maybe they would care about the two of us stumbling around drunk and heckling the entertainment system in the living room all night. Nice place you got here, Sky. Thanks. Like I said, it's a family home, really, but we should have it to ourselves. Why don't you help yourself to the kitchen? I think we've got a couple of beers and a few drinks in the cupboard by the microwave. I'm gonna go make sure the bed isn't a mess. It's the front-facing room at the top of the stairs. I need to make sure Kobe isn't using it. Good, Kobe's mostly having his own sleepover somewhere. Huh, okay. I guess now I definitely know what team your brother swings for, huh? Hey, look what I found in your cupboard. Drink bourbon, right? Sure. You know what they say? Liquor before beer, never fear. And beer before liquor. Liquor. I'm not sure that's how that one goes. Don't be a dork. It's party time. We shot as Lex called it, for a long time, lounging against the side of the bed, using the laptop as a music player and passing drink and conversation back and forth. As the night ran on, we made a small pyramid of empty beer cans. It was good to see Lex without that tough guy persona. They talked a little about their plans to expand from web design by maybe going back to college to get an illustration for game design. I was a little jealous of Lex having everything planned out like that. We shared our plans and our past in a great jumble of non-sequitur detours, from favorite movies to our favorite car. Their dream vacation and back to a nightmare cruise that Lex went on when they were younger, that they said was mostly pickled old folks babbling around. Keeping ourselves topped up on drink kept the conversation flowing erratically. It was equal parts fun and informative to keep listening to Lex ramble on about their life and to share my stories with someone new. The sun was already coming up at the time we started to give in for the night. When I returned from the bathroom, Lex was half-conscious, laying on their bellies sideways across the bed, spinning an empty bottle between their fingers, tail lazily wagging in time. With a struggle of coordination and exhaustion, they pulled herself up again. Dude, Sky, I'm totally wiped out. I'd only been in one tap out, but that's fine, Lex. I'm pretty murked out too. Ha, you said it first, none. Here, let me budge over if you want. Looks like there's room for two here. You don't mind, Lex? I can crash you on your brother's velvet nightmare if you prefer. I mean, no funny business, but I ain't gonna kick you out of your own bed. Lex nodded as they slipped under the covers on one side of the bed, watching me do the same from the other side until we were laying side by side. I tried not to let the impromptu idea make me feel a little nervous. I was almost on myself. I didn't want to fill things up with Lex. It had to really been cool getting to know them. Settling beside them, we were relatively cozy on the double bed, and I could feel the look of their body as they shuffled out their jacket. I chuckled, jumping like a little kid as their bare paw accidentally bumped my foot. Jeez, it wasn't like Lex even had their pants off. I was overthinking this. Not used to sharing a bed with someone, dude. Is it lame to say not for a while? Especially not this bed, sharing it with my brother and all. Well, you said that doesn't stop me, right? A little jealous. Lex rode on the other side to face me. Well, I can't speak for your brother as a person, but I have a blast today. Don't let him get to you. Thanks, Lex. Husky placed her arm across my middle and nestled in against my shoulder. Gotta love a hug wasn't quite platonic, but it was far from lewd. No problem, dude. I slowly let my hand inch across my body towards my bed partner, meaning to return the tender cuddle. As the slightest touch against the fabric on Lex's hip, Husky slapped my fingers, somewhere between playful and frustrated, as I rolled back to face away, bundling up in the sheets like a burrito and leaving me mostly without any sheets. Lex? Sleep. After some unknown time in a deep, dreamless sleep, I was stirred back to consciousness by the weight of Lex slipping back into the bed from the restroom. Where I had the chance to roll over, a pair of arms wrapped around my middle, hugging me close with unexpected tenderness. I sighed softly, leaning back against her body with a contented roll as the hugging arm gently pet over my tummy in a way that was likely to send me right back to sleep. Excitement of Lex holding me closer than me wanting anything but sleep. Lex. Oh, that's what their name is. What? Kobe? What are you doing in my bed? You passed out with a big dumb smile on your face. I figured you appreciate being hugged awake. Was it Lex you wanted in there? Someone woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Yeah, with my brother's arms around my hips. So, where's Lex? You didn't do anything to them, did you? Shit, you didn't speak to them at all, right? The androgynous canine cutie had passed out in here. He or she, they went to get a shower in the other bathroom. Screw it out of here real quick, too. I took one look at Kobe and made a run for it. So someone had a fun night. Yeah, we were at Waiters, a bar on the other side of the city. Then we came back here to hang out. Nothing happened. That's the biker bar, right? I guess I should have figured from the massive boots by the front door. And all the piercings. So, a butch androgynous punk, huh? What of it? And if you're one to judge, what was the line? He's not my teacher, he's a friend's teacher. So, I gotta know. Is your gaydar broken today? Or does it just not work on being a creeper watching people sleep? I asked. They aren't really ready to talk about it. I'd be guessing. They've not really dropped any major hints at all. But I'm pretty sure they're female. Aw, you're cute when you're in denial about being on a date. Don't start with that around Lex. I want to be friends first. I guess that's a good sign. Exactly. I'm gonna go see if they've cooled down. Don't be weird to them when they leave. Or your next sleepover is going to find toothpaste. So violent. I'll improve this new bad influence of yours. Okay, I'll behave. I had time to change my clothes, and at least had a quick chew on the toothbrush and a glass of OJ to hide my death breath before Lex came downstairs. I didn't dare try for solid food just yet after so much booze. Go, Sky. Look at their face. I didn't really push the topic of our cuddly night. Hold on. Hey, sorry about Kobe, Lex. I didn't expect him to burst in on us. Hope he's not shooting you out. That's okay, dude. Just made me jump is all. Still, I'm sorry about him. He can be kind of shitty about boundaries sometimes. That's okay. You can't help your brother. It's his house anyway. I should be the one saying sorry anyway. What? The cuddling up, I made a big deal about taking it slow and being friends, but we had quite a lot to drink last night. I let it go to my head a little. We didn't do anything, Lex. We barely did anything, besides sleep side by side. Hope that's not enough to weird you out. Nah, I guess not. It's not like I'm not thankful what happened. I had a great night, Sky. It was really cool to hang out here and show you waiters. What there is to show you there anyway. Hey, so gear up. How are your lunch or dinner or whatever the time it is? Sure, I think I can handle something solid. Great. I get a judge for driving music. Perfect. Let's go. Lex indeed gave my media player thorough judging. He concluded that my taste was just fine. Not either of us were in the mood for a bracing blast of guitars after such a late night on the bottle. We didn't end up getting anything too fancy. Neither of us had the stomach for anything too rich after the late night. We ended up at a small diner that did enough nice enough omelets. It was good to just chill with Lex, and the diner was thankfully quiet as we nursed our hangovers of black coffee and crust bacon. Now, I'm gonna go off a little food tangent here. I hate bacon, and I hate black coffee. I like I like light brown coffee that's like really sweet, like really sweet, and I think my favorite like coffee-esque drink is probably just a chai tea latte from Starbucks. And I think I think it's better cold than hot, but I like both either way. And my favorite breakfast food, probably cereal or probably cereal or probably pancakes. After a little while, I could feel the food coma starting to outperform the coffee and decided I was probably tired enough to pass out without Kobe giving me another grilling about spending all that time with Lex. I dropped the husky back into their apartment building with a flan farewell. I went in for a handshake, figuring anything more was pushing my luck. They gave a high five and a fist pound like cool fluid motion. As I should have figured the slap and that was more Lex's style than a stuffy handshake or a hug. By the time I got home, Kobe was deeply embroiled in one of his video games in the living room and was able to sneak upstairs without the squawking inquisition. As I hit my bed like a sack of rocks, I could already feel the rest of my energy draining away. I was glad to spend a good day with Lex. Days, maybe. When I'm rested up, I should get in contact by another adventure. Lex probably the next one wouldn't just be drinking at a bar. Sinking into my pillow, I couldn't help the smile that played on my face. Wonder what other adventures Lex has in store for me. Oh right, I forgot. I forgot. That's like, what the what? Contacts, Lex. I mean, as long as Lex doesn't start up that drinking game, it might be nice to hang out again. Hey, Sky. Hey, Lex. Have you got a moment? Sure, dude. I was hoping you'd call. Blech. Yeah? I had to admit, it was nicer than I expected to hear Lex say that. Haha, yeah. So what's up? I was wondering if you wanted to hang out again. Hell yeah, that sounds awesome actually. I did get a text from the gang wanting to hang out. Would you be up for that? Sure. The gang? Do I need to be worried? Ha, nah. I don't mean like a literal gang, just the guys. And yeah, maybe leave out the Amorous stuff. We get too much ammo out of that. But they're good people. So, going to Waiters again? Nah, not this time. It's a surprise. I'll come pick you up later tonight. Anything I need to bring? A flashlight, maybe a jacket or something. Probably wouldn't dress up too fancy either. Are we going caving or something? Something like that. I'm like a spoiling if your chest to back out, haha. Okay, I'll quit being a dork about it. Don't entirely quit that. Just be yourself, dude. I'll swing by around 9 p.m. See you then, Lex. See you, Sky. I guess I have a little time to kill beforehand. Plenty of time to grab a jacket. Okay. Flashlight is something to wear at night. I got room for something else if I need it. A berm and a weapon. A weapon. Security guard. Pocket knife wouldn't go amiss. Ling. Just pulled up. Time to go. Yo, dude, ready to go? Sure. Hey, Kobe, I'm heading out. I'll probably be back late. Okay. Come on. Combo attack? I'll be here. Get so fun. This was my first time in Lex's car. It was a pretty nice model. Not a fancy sports car, but it seemed well loved. It certainly put my own car to shame with the empty water bottles and receipts cluttered around the front seats. The car was well maintained, despite that they mentioned owning it for years. There was a slight woody smell of wound tobacco, maybe even cigars, that made me think of my grandparents' house. Lex played disc jockey from media player hooked into the sound system. Lex didn't seem like they beefed up the sound system much at first, but considering the age of the car, the USB connected harder and the clarity of the guitars that came through the speakers, who knows it was. Definitely better than the teeny sounding ones that struggled to play along in my own car. Despite what I thought was a sporty car model and the torn pants, Lex is a pretty safe driver, almost cautious, and took each turn with impressive precision on the push and pull of the wheel. Nerve crossing into their hands or letting it go the way my dad would terrifyingly. We had Lex's car to ourselves. I'd supposedly be meeting their friends out wherever we were going. We weren't heading into the city, that was for sure. Took the main route out of the suburbs away from the coast. Hey, so you gonna go tell me what's going on yet? I'm starting to feel like I should have a bag on my head like in the movies. Like, yes, I can tell you. We're gonna go exploring. Like, out in the woods? Nah, not the woods. Well, it's near the woods. We're closer to the city. There's this big old factory. There's a mold processing plant for a newspaper company or stationery, I think. Anyways, this creepy abandoned building. Are you breaking in? Nah, the place is so f***ed up you can pretty much walk in. Maybe boosting in through a window at worst. That bother you, dude? Sounds pretty fun. Hell yeah. It's an old building with the middle of nowhere. Kids go there all the time to explore around. It'll be fun. Anyway, it'll be less weird and formal than, like, introducing you to everyone at Waiters. Unless you want to play 20 questions all night. Fair point. Well, cool. Trying to go into an abandoned building and kill a security guard. No, tell my family I love them. Ragged public park. There was only one other car there, which I assumed was Lex's friends. As we got out, Lex lit up a cig and puffed out the first acrid cloud into the brisk night air, coolly checking our surroundings. But you gotta move on. That's Kelsey and Taylor's car. Crossing back over the road where the buildings were sparser, the first order of business was a quick off-road ramble. The light of the moon above made it easy to see, and traipsing through the trees a little bit away, I finally got a good look at the abandoned building. It was sitting alone beyond a narrow clearing that might have once been a corporate-maintained break area, judging by a couple of wooden picnic tables that had rotted through the mush. The building itself loomed over a small lot of cracked asphalt that was moss green. Looked like the majority of the building was a squat two-story warehouse with an office building attached on one side, which was starting to look a little mossy, and the company name was all but bleached out of existence. Tomtech maybe? Currentech? Target waited for us, an ominous monolith above the trees. I'm gonna go to settings and, oh wait, no, it's right here, normal. Lex's friend. Beyond an overgrown, prickly bush, three figures caught sight of us. and waved us over with a quiet cheer. There you guys are. I think I'm gonna go for instant. Yeah, hey guys. Nice to meet you all. Cool. The group were a little eclectic, but expected that from Lex's punkish style of dress and music. Lex did say that their friends got them out of their shell a little bit more. And three had started the party early with beers in hand. I guess when you plan to sneak around a building without permission, drinking in public is the least of their worries. Concerning their closeness, two of them looked like a couple, at least one of them friends. The other guy seemed a little bit baby-faced than the other two. Who introduced them? The red wolf with the flame markings there is Kazi. The lynx here with the talons who attached to his hip is Taylor. Hey again. Haha. Nice to meet you, Sky. Lex says you're pretty cool. I don't know about all that, but it's cool to meet you all. And last but not least, our portable disco ball, Jade. Hey, I like to think I bring a little levity to the situation. Anyway, Kaz doesn't get lost in the dark when I'm around. That's happened like one time. I'd never give Jade, Sky. You might be a little micro rave. And that Vespu's a good guy. I'd never give. Foxling's hybrid with the bright markings still tilted his head my way a moment, trying to puzzle me out. Maybe I was just jealous that someone here has some femininity. Hey, speaking of ribs, you don't know someone called Kobe, right? Actually, yeah, it's my stepbrother. Blue Avian, how do you know him? Small world, I knew it. I try to remember Kobe sometimes. I thought I recognized you in the backgrounds of one of Kobe's cams chat. Weird coincidence. Jade winked with the head of a smirk. Now that I think about it, I might have seen him and Kobe chatting at Amorous too. He certainly seems like he'd fit in there. Lex might have taste buckling markings, but they were pretty apt landing lights on his athletic body. He was more than a little cute than the Lex in a way. The cheeky wink, he was a heartbreaker, alright. Certainly someone Kobe would get along with. I threw him a flip of wink in return and held out my hand for a friendly shake. He took the opportunity, letting his eyes roll down my less exposed body, with a smile that my visits with Amorous had made me more than familiar with. He was checking me out. Well, cool to see you. I have to let Kobe know you said hi. Totally. Okay, so it's Jake coming? He bailed on me the other day and not heard from him in a while. You didn't hear? He rode his bike pretty bad when he was out of town. Is he okay? Yeah, he's fine. He was visiting his uncle or something upstate. Anyways, he has to get the bike repaired. He's been out there a while waiting on that. He's not hurt or anything, but when he called about his feeding a snake, he was using his uncle's house phone. Maybe his phone got smashed up? Must be swapped. Isn't he one of us to drive out there? Nah, you know he is. He says there's maybe some work at the garage there for him. We might be out there a while paying off the bike. I told him he could take a look at the bike. We'll see. A road trip up there sometime might be fun. Anyways, I guess we shouldn't hang out in the bushes all day, right? Adventure awaits. As we made our way through the bushes and overgrown tangle of wild grasses between us and the building, I could see why Lex had advised us to bring a flashlight. My phone wouldn't really have helped me cover against the snarls of creeping vines and low-hanging branches. It would be even worse inside, too. We picked our way to the slowly, and as we got closer, the path became a little easier. The little cracked parking lot cut through much of the undergrowth, but the more experienced team of explorers kept to that door left as we walked our way to the bushes. The lot was too close to the road, hence why we had parked a few minutes away from being seen. Lex took the opportunity to tug the back of my jacket slightly to slow me down out of earshot. We're not about that floaty shit, Sky. Jay's a good guy, but I didn't ask you here to do shit at him. I'm gonna save here, because... You're jealous? Yes. Good. Well, I know that. You'll look cool and that stuff, Lex. You're a bit of a sneaky asshole sometimes. Bro, this is literally me and Logan. Oh my god. I see you when you're texting me. Maybe go on a date with me sometime. No, I guess not. Okay, this bar is a bit tricky. All the doors down here are totally locked down. But one of the guys at the bar said that one of the sliding windows along the office block had the latch broken. You can get in that way. We just gotta check it along the side here. This guy seemed pretty cool. Where'd you meet Lex? We continued to chat as we walked along the side of the building. Rounding the corner from the parking lot and back outside of the road as Kazi and Lex checked the windows. And Amorous, I'm a college friend. We met online, bumped into each other. I mean, he said it'd give memos, so let's see what happens. A club. I thought I seen you there. Wait. I mean, our Everstoke looks at the club. I must give Jade so much extroverted taste. Yeah, spill. I was just in the parking lot waiting on Jake, actually. Sky Harris came stumbling out looking as Buzz lost his eye, and we ended up chatting for a bit. Look at the two of us, a knowing smile. That was most of the way to a smirk. You two are cute, it said. Looks to ignore it, and I waved it off. Aha, got it. About halfway around the side of the building, Kazi found a window in question, and I slid it open to a dusty abandoned office beyond. Darting our flashlights through, the room was dominated by an old desk someone had dragged below the window to help climbing through. The room itself had been the site of a storm of papers and trash that now carpeted the floor. Ready to go? Sure. We climbed through, and sliding the frosted glass window back closed, we were immediately left to use the torches. It was surprising how dark it was as we migrated out in the old hallway. I suppose living in the city, you get used to the streetlights or even the ambient light of the buildings catching on the clouds. It wasn't even starlight in here, it was a black hole. The opposite area seemed to be a simple square of hallways as we moved through. I was reminded of the Scooby-Doo team from the cartoons. 5 of us bunched up together, closing our flashlights, exploring the dilapidated building. Maybe the police force was a better example, looking up at the nest of spiders where a ceiling tile had fallen down, taking each open door as we passed the eerily abandoned rooms. There were some scars of vandalism down the hall. Someone had run along with a blown object, maybe a pipe scoring the walls. And some of the rooms looked like people might have crashed there for a night or lit small fires, but Kazi had assured us that the dust on the desktop by the window meant that no one had been here for a while, otherwise they wouldn't have entered. We passed by a set of stairs up to the second floor. And Jade nudged me with the shoulder towards it. That's a real challenge up there. Dare you? Her voice seemed to echo up the U-shaped staircase, bouncing off the mid-floor landing, where his torch lit a sign that said admin only, resonating away into the unseen labyrinth ahead. The stairs looked sturdy, at least the inside didn't have any water damage that I'd have to worry about. Would have weakened the floors. You don't have to, Scott. This place is creepy shit already. That's the point. Still need more horror movie fodder. Jay turned his flashlight into his tantalized, glowing face severely. Without his boisterous, evil laugh, but the quiet resonance of his voice in the all hollowed-out rooms caused the harsh, aspirated H sound to catch on the open doors and amplify. Even Jade winced a little with the effect. Let's do it, baby. It's gonna cry me. I'll look up the kill. Just you are too. Let me save here. On board. Let me save in the middle. Hell no, it's creepy as shit up there. No, it's still early in the movie here, so if I creep off up there, I'm just gonna wake the psycho and ghost murderer up, and they'll be waiting to jump us when we try to leave. Jesus, Sky. And if we split up, we're just gonna get killed off quicker. I dusted the first steps up, seeing Bug appear around the dividing wall up into the darkness above. Lexi got me a provocative look. I said we're into ghost stuff. I like it. Horror buff, eh? Well, either I'm the bimbo with the third wheel. I don't know if I like my odds there. At least there's a couple of us with dark fur. And Lex and Sky will be fine until the end because it's their first date. I guess that means Sky will survive because Lex isn't certainly the type of girl. 1 or 2 of them. I flushed, glad we're in the dark. So what do you think? Some psycho businessman went nuts and murdered the whole office? With a box cutter? Or are we talking more like the laborer who fell into some machine and got all gnarly and went on a revenge spree? Ooh, I like the first one, the office killer. He stole today, waiting to slice your fingers off on the guillotine. Knock it off, guys. You know, the roof up there is actually pretty cool out here. No way, dude. I can't really do voices for Jade and Taylor and Kazi. No way. Oh, here we go. Jackpot. This seems like office room 4. Yeah, at least it's the break room and then the warehouse. Bingo was right. There was a carpeted room behind the warehouse manager office. I don't know why I keep yawning. Excuse me. And past the stained old carpets, a moldy little nook that might have been a kitchen at one point. We found our way out into a huge concrete room at the warehouse itself. The warehouse seemed like it was used for packing, judging by the ancient shreds of boxes and plastic as an industrial shrink wrap machine that seemed to be rusted to the floor. At the center of a spreading coppery stain. The back wall of the warehouse, partially circled by an ancient rolling converter, were parcels that led to a large set of shutters. My guess was that they did allow shipping. Any industrial equipment here had probably been sold off as scrap, only a few broken metal shelves slumped in a heap near one of the sets of shutters. Major score was seemingly an alien object that had been placed in the center of the room by a dusty adventurer before us. A dusty old soccer ball waiting for us like a sad, partially divided globe. Abandoning the office workers might pile up a dozen rolling desk chairs in here. Maybe they were wielded by the same pioneers who brought the ball later. With that, we had our next few hours laid out. I admit, it might have been childish, but the next hour in the warehouse was a myriad of games we invented with the rolling chairs, with a mostly empty surface. Office circling, people clinging to the seat, of course. Races slaloming around the obstacles, and our crowning glory, Hoppus chaired to a side soccer using partially deflated old ball. We set our torches around the perimeter, casting up on the high ceiling to light the room with a diffuse box, with the diffuse glow up the door roof. Jade and Kazi ended up outscoring us in office chair soccer, which Lex blamed on their smoking, so no one was upset about it as we sat on the sidelines on the conveyor, watching the two compete in the penalty shootout versus Jade's extreme cold-tending. I sat beside Lex as they rolled side to side on the conveyor's rollers, steering with their boots on the legs of the simple machine as we watched guys flailing madly on the chairs trying to kick the saggy ball. It was probably funnier watching from a distance there than being there alongside them, legs pumping madly. See, I promised it would be more fun this time. Yeah, I had fun the last time too, but I'm really glad you invited me, Lex. It's actually a really cool idea. I'm glad, dude. I figured you'd get on with everyone well enough. That word. I still on the penalty shootout between Kazi and Taylor. Lex's fingers traced over my knuckles before squeezing my hand out with equal part tenderness and strength. I let Lex hold my hand while I say why. Spreading my fingers, I could weave theirs with mine against the rungs of the conveyor between us. Dork. You love it. Yeah, kinda. Well, when he wins the Office Chair League Cup, woo! Looks like we got a champ. Before Kazi got much time to celebrate his victory, there came a loud knock on one of the shutters and a gruff voice yelled through. Oi, who's in there? Titan security. Open up, I'm opening them up for you. Kakoba, chill. Run. Split up. Hide. Hide? Seriously? Sky. I've been thinking we should do it. Run back to the break room. The sound of lock being popped on the side door chased us as we scattered deeper into the building. Lex and I running in tandem. Torches click on our heels as we ducked to the break room. Our soccer game quickly abandoned. So we got into the opposite area. That's lady came in and I was trying to continue knock. We screened into the small room and tried to make myself as small as I could. Guard came thundering around the corner, their bright flashlight falling on us, towering canine to the right. Okay, so I guess that's not the greatest option. Let's go into the office area. Yeah. The sound of the security guard was getting louder. Our torches flashing around made it hard to work out where we were. Think, it's a square corridor, one on the inside wall. Kazi and Taylor spread up to the right. Hiding one of the rooms of stairs. Hey, get down from there. Can you not read? God kept thundering around the corner of the brief. Aw, oh, come on. Go to the office. Right, left, hide in one of the rooms. We lived in one of the rooms in the stairs as heavy boots pounded past after Jade. We set their hand over their mouth to muffle their panting as we held the light of my flashlight diffused to the pocket of my jacket. The room was a storm of trash. There was a charred flame markup. One wall that was some hilarious interloper for us had driven 2 bottle caps into to make the shape look like it had eyes. In the darkness, the man-sized silhouette looked vaguely convincing. After the guard ran past, Lex cracked the door. It was dark in the hall and the sound of shouting was around the corner. Like the stairs. We rushed upstairs quickly and as quietly as we could. The upstairs corridor was much like the first besides that someone, maybe the same bounce from downstairs, had dragged 2 tables out the corridor to make it makeshift barriers, had spray painted Fort U next to a rusty pipe that went driven into the wall like a barbaric spear. We used the same spray paint to make it look like the wall was bleeding from the wound. That's pretty good. Alright. No good. Quick, up the stairs again, the roof. I hissed through my teeth as we kept climbing the stairs. We was indeed up the second flight of stairs. It terminated at a door with a push bar that had a handwritten sign that said something about a smoking area. I guess I did use the roof a lot. After all, we snuck through and pushed the door closed as quietly as we could. I'm checking for a handle on the outside, of course. We were both panting. My fingers were numb from the adrenaline as the 2 of us slumped down against the door to jam it with our bodies. Lex's look was the same as mine, their eyes wide with terror, but their mouth a broad grin of excitement. We stayed slumped there for a couple of minutes, tense, waiting to hear the Scottish brogue with the security guard through the door as we grew so, and we really would have nowhere left to run. The cool air had a calming effect on my nerves, and after a long enough wait, it seemed safe to get up and looked around the roof. There honestly wasn't too much to see. The small square box that housed the stairs back down was the only real landmark besides the lower corrugated roof of the warehouse section. I didn't dare get too close to the low roll edge of the roof, just in case the security guard was prowling the grounds and saw us. It was easy enough to tell that we wouldn't be undiscovered up here if we hadn't been able to track us up the stairs. Lex shuffled up, standing too, Lex shaky. Sighing, Lex lit up a cigarette and offered me one. We at least had the starlight above us like the trees, and the city twinkling in the distance like a casino. Kazi was right, the view up here was pretty cool, and from the debris of fast food waste and beer bottles, the place was still frequently used. Maybe all the Vanger Gang ruled for you. Shit, that was intense. Yeah, tell me about it. Really, Cherasaki camps? They'll be fine. It's not the first time we had to make a quick escape from somewhere. I just know how to hide up here anyway. Was it a lucky guess, I suppose? We saved my butts, guy. Thanks. Hey, it's the least I could do, huh? Not that I really did much besides run for my life. Seriously, next time, can I just have the front Inquisition? I prefer that, getting chased to a creepy old building. Sure. Dude, you mind if we go back inside? Lex shook the load uncomfortably. Dan moved far from the entrance. Probably just need to make a ton of noise at that door. Anyways, we didn't hear the guard's car leave. Why? Lex, you need to take a leak. No, gross. Okay, besides the ghost group, I'm getting freaked. I'm not great with heights, especially not some old building. I stepped back their way and smiled reassuringly, pointing over the side of the roof back to his bonus so we could sit away from the admittedly low wall. Let's go over there then. I guess we shouldn't stomp around up here a bunch anyway. Cool, okay. Sorry, this place doesn't look like it's crumbling to pieces or whatever, but I'd rather be looking up at the stars and cityscape than, like, looking over the edge of the mold wall with the concrete 3 stories below. I guess I couldn't blame Lex there. Hey, so you got your phone right? Did you bring your headphones? Yeah, I usually have them in my pocket. We'll listen to music and chill out a bit then. I've had enough excitement for the day anyway. Even for the guard to drive about to make a rig for it. Sure. Took a seat side by side against the brick wall, watching the clouds rolling over the constellations of the lake, shared an earbud each, listening to the guitar skills of one of Alex's favorite bands. They mounted with the words lit as we simply sat for a while, feet tapping to the beat. And I had to admit, it might have made me feel a little small, but sitting alone under the sky with Lex also felt like a galactic spotlight on the two of us. Dude, it would be too gay for you to kiss a girl. I mean, it literally would be gay in my case, but not too gay. Why? I see clapped a little, what do you think laugh. Lex leaned close and kissed my cheek softly as I sat down to rest her hand on my shoulder. I suppose I was as close to his answering a thing or two as I was going to get from Logan. I had my suspicion about the Husky's gender. I suppose the attitude and being small-chested threw me off a little. They were female. Lex was a plaid shirt away from looking at a girl I knew in school with the same haircut. I guess it was an easy guess even with the butch accent. I suppose her tomboyish nature spoke to her being into other girls too. Definitely something that drew on my gaydar subconsciously. I ain't want to set a ton of boundaries. Before you keep the flirting with other people to yourself when we're together, right? Or before you flirt with me. Ooh. Getting my undivided attention, dude. Dude, you're mocking me now, after my big dumb dart. No, it's more, I don't know. I guess Eastern people accents kind of rub off on me. Huh, well now on the roof of a creepy ass building they don't. Back to my place then. Kind of being shy, but I don't want to put myself rushing into it. I know I'm pretty much hyped up by the chase and I don't want to regret doing things with you than when we do. Let's go for it, baby. First we're gonna save. I didn't have much to move. I didn't have to move much to strip my arm behind Lex and turn them so we were face to face. Pushed her arm up my arm was like leaning in to kiss their lips. Our heads tilted in fingerness consent. Earphones still blasting out "Stupid for You" as I disappeared into the small world that was Lex for me. Lex relented in the kiss, our lips locked. Husky let up a soft moan as our tongue locked. My monitor just... Ow. Lapped up against mine, rolling over my teeth to find my own eager to play. Their fist balled into my jacket, tugging me close, pressing my body up against theirs and holding our lips together as my hand around their waist pulled up close and reset. I broke the kiss, panting softly. The air between our lips was hot against my face as we rubbed snouts, unable to break contact with each other. That was a better first kiss. Lex snickered, gently pulling me close so they could slide down top my leg where I sat. Legs wrapped around my waist so their knees pressed up against the wall as they sat on my thighs. My hands rolled down to the small of the back of their neck. My hands rolled down to the small of their back tenderly as they cupped my neck and held the hug there to look me in the eyes. Lex leaned in close so our tongues could reconnect, fingers running up against my scalp as they sat in my lap. I stroked her back tenderly, enjoying our moment together as we kicked into the stars. Lex chuckled low and playfully, breaking my kiss. What? No, I don't know. In my head, I'm like, that's stupid hugging, it's dorky. No, I'm like, well, it's Sky, so it's okay. I'm flattered. Oh, fuck off, dude. You're gonna burn all my street cred, you know? Yep, it'll be like kale chips and book clubs from now on. Yeah, and yoga and all that stupid shit. As long as I get to see that cute ass yoga pants, I guess I can deal. Just a warning, you're never gonna get me in a summer dress or any of that shit. Not even around your parents. You wouldn't be the first to try. I freaking love this game. I need to do Dustin and Zenith. I've done everyone except those two. You look too good in those pants for me to really want to hide you on a... You look too good in those pants for me to really want to hide you on a dress anyway. Morgane. I nodded in return and simply smiled. It was good to clear the air with them about where we stood, but they weren't exactly lovey-dovey type. We still back down to the music and Lex passed her cigarette over for me. Took a drag as we shared the headphones as a subtle cuddle. I like that rhyming wordplay, subtle cuddle. Of what was maybe 15 minutes, we heard the tires of the security guard grind on the surface of the lot and started rolling away to the road. I guess he made his report and left. We were lucky he didn't check the roof. We made our way back inside and quickly navigated stairs down, flashlights back out. We didn't dare stick around very long as after Kat's call made a beeline for the window out in the bushes. We slipped out through the trees, trying not to laugh at the excitement of getting away with that little rebellious adventure. We hit the road and started to speed up till we were running it flat out by the time we got to the little parking lot where Lex's car was. We jumped up in his front seat somewhere over the parking lot and off towards the city where I even had time to clip my seatbelt and bring us felt electrified with attention. Oh man, my heart's still beating 1 billion miles an hour. Seriously, that was a rush. Woo! I know what you mean. I swear, I thought I was going to see him running down the car like a robot in Terminator 2. Whew, I was going to have a heart attack. But after I went back to the city, riding the higher bar escape back to civilization. Civilization, yeah. Hey, so smirking at me thinking, am I doing alright with this whole thing, dude? Well, you said not to push it. I've been trying to give it the space all along. If I take things to come, friends first and stuff. That's for you, Logan. That's for you. Right there, yeah. You're pretty awesome, Sky. I know you said the one who ends up doing good chasing, I guess. So we were kind of on a date, huh? Yo, yeah, right. I don't know. I guess I'm boring fucking around some random old building aren't exactly romantic. I guess it is kind of like a date, yeah. That's cool with you. I do keep going to hang out, Lex. Huh, dude, listen, I won't fucking know until it comes to it sometimes. Unless someone comes out and says, you're crap at this whole dating thing, right? Yes, Lex, I formally state that we are on a date. You're off, dude. Thanks for clearing it up. I'm not just ready to call you my girlfriend or anything crap, but yeah, want a trial period? I'm trying to think of a joke. Me assumed someone's gender, them. So your free trial of living has ended. Let me get to me go. Relax, just joking. Sorry, Lex, I know the serious stuff isn't your thing. It is good to know how you feel, though. Lex drove me home with the two of us still hyped up from the excitement. First the breaking in, and then the excitement of the competition with the security guard. And I suppose the drive back had its own sort of sweet joy. Lex was blushing a little. I suppose I was too. We said goodbye in the car and jumped out. I didn't get far inside before the sounds of Lex's doors opening spun me back around. Sky? Right there, covering my cheek with one hand, locking our lips together before I could open my mouth to ask what they were doing. It was full of a deep, grateful sort of passion that let me feel Lex's ferociousness appear themselves. I returned the kiss, tongue lapping against Lex's own until they broke up with a nudge against my snout and a playful slap on my hip. Lex was smirking under a blush and smoked to how they'd surprise themselves as well. Yes, it doesn't even get to make it out. Sometimes. Just don't be an asshole and keep asking. Maybe I'll work up the nerve to do it by myself. Relax. I want to come up on the couch and pull some stupid TV and Maisie pass out with you. You want anything else now, I'll tell you. Okay? Deal, hon. We ended up doing just what Lex asked for, delaying its minutes top with the knife with the TV, and eventually passed out together without the knife feeling wasted for not pushing it any further. Honestly, after the adrenaline rushes we barely made an hour. Lex had to rush out early to get some work done. Also shared a hug that didn't seem quite brave enough to add another of the fierce kisses, so I promised to call when I was free next. Alright guys, well, that wraps it up for this video. Like I said, since Amorous 1 and 2 got 400 views, Let's get this one to 800 views. And Bear Backstreet has been doing amazing. Thank you guys so much for 6,500 views. It means the world to me. I'm almost at 80 subscribers. If you guys get me to 100 by Christmas, that would be like the best present ever. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.